The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints just filed a new response in its polarizing lawsuit against Mormon stories, and it wants to make one thing very clear. This is not about stopping John Dehlin from criticizing the church, and it's not about owning the word Mormon. So what is the church actually suing over? The church sued John Dehlin and the Open Stories Foundation in April for alleged trademark and copyright infringement. Mormon Stories asked the federal court to dismiss that lawsuit. Now, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter day Saints is fighting that dismissal, saying Dehlin is completely free to criticize the church and even continue using Mormon in the name Mormon Stories. Its argument is that the First Amendment protects what he says, but doesn't necessarily give him the right to use church trademarks or copyrighted imagery in ways that could confuse people about an affiliation with the church. And I think that's important because I've seen this framed as the church is suing to silence its critics. But that's not actually the legal claim being made. The church says it contacted the Open Stories Foundation about its branding back in November of 2025, and the two sides even went through mediation before the lawsuit was filed. So the fight is fundamentally over branding and potential consumer confusion, not whether John Dehlin is allowed to criticize the church. There's also a financial side to Mormon Stories that's worth understanding, although it doesn't prove anyone's motive. Public IRS filings reportedly show the nonprofit generated around 1.1 million in revenue in 2024, while combined compensation for Dehlin and his wife was of over $300,000. Some critics have argued that controversy with the church financially benefits Mormon Stories, but that's an interpretation, not something those financial numbers alone establish. I do want to make sure that it's clear, and I also want to shout out Ron Rhodes, who presented on Mormon Stories and LDS Critics as a business at this year's fair conference and has compiled additional research at his website, answeringLDScritics.com. I think that there's a lot there worth examining, so I highly recommend you go and check it out, especially if you're trying to understand the arguments surrounding Mormon Stories rather than just reacting to the headlines. And that's really where this lawsuit currently stands. Mormon Stories says the case should be dismissed. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter day Saints says this isn't about criticism or the word Mormon at all. It's about whether specific branding crosses the legal line into trademark and copyright infringement. Now, a federal court gets to decide whether that case moves forward. If you like news and analysis like this, make sure you subscribe to my Saints HQ newsletter, comment newsletter, and I'll send you the link. And remember to follow, like, and share. Click all those good buttons so I can keep you, your friends, and your family up to date on LDS news.